About a year or so ago, we'd cover an old railway or we'd cover an old canal and we'd do it all in one go, one day. And you guys would say, oh, but you missed this or you've missed this. And you were right, we did miss this and this. So what we've decided to do of late is cover small snippets so you really get to see and feel what we're seeing on the day. Today is just that. We've had a tip-off from our local canal correspondent that the Calne branch of the Wilts and Berks is definitely worth our attention and yours. So welcome to today's video, which is from the Calne branch of the Wilts and Berks Canal. And oh my goodness, it's got some good stuff in it, I promise you. Stick with us. So without further ado, let's start the video. Now, just down here, okay, whoa there. Before we go clambering into that hedge to see what we can find, let's have a little bit of context to exactly where we are today. So the Wilts and Berks Canal, we've explored many different parts of this already over the last few months. It went all the way down from Melksham right up to Abingdon near Oxford. And today we are exploring the Calne branch, opened around 10 years before the entire length of the canal was actually opened. So let's get back in that hedge. What we're on now is we're on the old railway, actually on the Calne railway branch, and just down there, well, you can see the Wilts and Berks Canal. This is the main line of the canal. About 100 yards that way is our start to our Calne branch. Stanley Junction, I believe it's called. What you're looking at there would have been the railway engineering blue brick of the railway over what would have been here, the canal. So going underneath that way. Of course now it's all infilled and there's no bridge to remain, there's no railway on top, it's just a pathway. But there you can see the bridge structure, not built by the canal because obviously the railway came 60 years after this was built. Let's have a quick look this way. This is unequivocally impassable. Bear in mind we're now in December, so this is as good as it's going to get in terms of vegetation. Really wanted to get down and see if we could see part of the old aqueduct and maybe the junction, but we'll do that by drone instead. But nevertheless, this is going to mark the start of today's journey on that Calne branch. There's some wonderful stuff to see a bit further on. Already seen some pictures, so I know it exists. So join us on this little stretch of the Calne branch, albeit for an extremely brambly one. Trying to get over to Calne Locks. We're heading back north. We parked near Black Dog station, the Black Dog halt on the old railway. We're now having to come back on ourselves and back over the railway, but it looks like the only way is up a very steep embankment, right?
Yeah, which is the railway.
Yeah, okay. I guess we just go up it.
Nothing to hold on to. Right? Look at one and a camera in the other.
These are right rickety.
Just a little bit.
Right rickety, is that a thing? Right rickety. God, I mean that there nearly stabbed me in the face as well. Now I've got to go back across a marshy field. So in the distance there, the lowest point, you have the River Marden, that bit there. On the top of that embankment, probably about another 7 or 8 metres higher, you've got the old canal. And in those trees just there is exactly what we're looking for on today's little journey. So before we get there, let's do two things. Number one, let's blind you with the sun right behind us. Number two, quick bit of history. So the Wilts and Berks fully opened by 1810. Oddly, when I was trying to research this branch line, the Calne branch, the weirdest thing was I couldn't find really much history other than it said opened 1801. That's because they did actually do that. They opened sections of this canal before the whole route. So the canal at Calne was actually in use, fully operational, at least up to Stanley Junction before the whole opening and the ceremony of the opening of the canal. Right, Rebecca, where are we going?
I don't know. You said this way.
I said this way, but I wasn't exactly sure. Oh, that's lovely. Well, that's a bridge over the River Marden, which is nice, isn't it? I feel there's like a lot more in here, a lot more secrets this bit of wood is holding. I think right ahead of me here is a line of the canal. There we go. trying to find one of the locks here, and I think we can see something because we're going up a bit of a slope on this path. Down there, like 5 or 10 metres lower, you've got the River Marden, and I was telling you what, that holds a lot of stories itself there because there's so much water coming in from there. Look at that massive sluice area. I reckon the water from here...
It's really low down as well, compared to up here now.
Yeah, but it's been... Well, my point is it's been channeled from somewhere.
Yeah.
All these man-made channels down here, they use the water here. I wonder if there's some mills here or something like that, perhaps.
Well, there's a building just there.
Right, and I reckon that there, Rebecca's, it's got the hallmarks of a lock. We've got a big up incline thing. Yeah. Oh, look. Oh, yes, look at this. I mean, it's been significantly filled in, but the lining ahead, each wall, proper bad state this is in, but it's still here. You can still see it. Trees growing out the side. Look at this. Perhaps the most curious thing of all is a very old tree or two growing up in the middle of this lock here, right in the middle. So this has all been infilled here, so we've got another 10 feet of rubbish or soil down there. Got the wall of a canal here, obviously another one here as well, all the way along here. Over there as far as Rebecca, the other side. And trees just growing up in the middle of this old lock.
You just said as far as Rebecca because they can see me on camera, but they can't.
This is a good point. But there we go. There is the wall of Canigri. I think it might be Canigri Top Lock. Proper bobble hat, weren't there, Rebecca?
It is. I've got mine on.
Well,
I haven't got a bobble.
You haven't got a bobble anymore, which is a little bit disappointing. I think our viewers are going to ask for their money back at some point soon.
Frankly, the elastic went in my bobble hat and it was like, it wasn't working.
But we're looking for another lock. Right, we nearly missed this. Got a funny feeling this could be, not completely convinced, but could be the site of the next lock along. It's all brick lined down there. The only way to do it is to get in, isn't it, and see. So we've headed a bit further south. Now, interestingly, there is a tunnel on this branch, Canigri Tunnel, and I tried to find it a long while ago, so we're not going to redo that. You can watch the video just up there. You used to be able to get in this field. It used to be permissive. You could go along there, it's very marshy, and go and see where the entrance to the tunnel would be. It was only a cut and cover tunnel, and they used a lot of the stone and the rubble they found in that tunnel to build a lot of the towpaths, and it went under the hill just across the way over there. But we're not going to go in that field because we're not allowed anymore. It's a bit of a shame. It was permissive, no longer. Well, we picked up an in-water bit of this abandoned canal as we're heading into Calne, the last section. A few more fascinating little things to show you. Have a look at this map, which is in the back of this Wilts and Berks book I've got, and it shows you the real extent of the canal in its entirety. And we zoom in and go into the little branch that we're just covering today. You can show you why we've done this bit in sections. The first little joy is right ahead of us. Quite a small overbridge. It almost looks like it's a model. Does that make sense, Rebecca?
Yeah.
It looks kind of like a tiny little quaint little canal, classic canal overbridge. Look at that. Sorry, it's not the best pathway, is it? But this is the joys of an abandoned canal. But look at that. I think if I had a top 10 bridges, that would be in the top 10 easily. It's just wonderful, isn't it?
It's kind of funky.
It feels almost almost too small for a canal, but obviously it's not, because it's there and it's clearly very early, if not original.
Clearly canal related.
Just walking over the clearest well and source of water in Calne. Apparently the only one that wasn't a source of typhoid in 1880. Fascinating stuff. One thing we didn't mention when we were back at Canigri was the brickworks, because we read up in that book about brickworks. Yes. So there was a brickwork there, 1797. It produced 300,000 bricks. Now put that into context, because they also said that if you had a lock, single lock, that would take 178,000 bricks. I think the next year he did 350,000 at this Calne brickworks.
Okay.
So then like there's other stats like a bridge like that, not necessarily that, but even a bit bigger, would be like 30,000 bricks. All these different stats on how they could build this canal and how many brickworks they had. I think Pewsham had a brickworks, Laycock, and all of the other places along the canal.
Because they needed to, didn't they? Because they saved travelling bricks so
saved
far.
travelling, moving bricks.
Use them in the area.
Yeah. Right, just ahead of us, Rebecca, I can see a vessel, a barge, a narrowboat.
Oh yes.
I've got all the right phrases.
I'm not sure it's seaworthy, is it?
You're not sure it's seaworthy?
No, but we'll.
Looks pretty good, and there's a lock. You can see the lock gates. Right, this gives us a better context of what the locks would have looked like, because they've actually restored. Whether there's water or not, I don't think there is, but they've actually restored part of this, all of that, all of the lock, apart from the inside bit, right? So
they filled in the inside.
Filled in the inside, fine. An old vessel in it, then a very long one, 2 locks, leading round to the final bit of today, which is the wharf. A nice view back to the lock here.
The last one that we're looking at.
And is that, I kind of like the image of the algae filled canal. It's quite a nice picture, isn't it? Although it's probably not the healthiest place in the world. It's still quite a nice picture.
Wouldn't want to swim in it.
No. Well, this is the end of the branch, the canal branch of today's journey. Just around the corner you've got the wharf, literally just around that corner. I think it's still an old building there now, which has been redone, but it still looks like a wharf canal kind of building, which is great. And it's good to see this bit in water. In the meantime, we shall see you this time next week. If you've liked this, if you've enjoyed it, give it a boop. Sorry.
You can't help yourself, can you?
No, I can't. That's it. Now, boop is here to stay. We would appreciate you giving it a boop. The like button, that is. I mean, subscribe too, but you know, all those things. Goodbye.